The mudslides in Santa Barbara County this week have killed at least 19 people and injured 28. But these are just the latest in a long history of Southern California mudslides. The National Weather Service has a list of significant weather events in Southern California, and the section for floods, mudslides, debris flows, and landslides is over 60 pages long. Here are just a few of the many mudslides that have impacted the area over the past 50 years. January 18 to 28, 1969, heavy rains hit, resulting in 87 deaths from floods and mudslides, and scores of deaths from car accidents, according to the National Weather Service's summary of the incident. These two Los Angeles bridges collapsed from floodwaters in 1969. Photo courtesy of the Los Angeles Public Library Archive. Hundreds of homes and buildings were destroyed, and Mount Baldy Village was particularly hard hit, with 14 homes destroyed there alone. The Los Angeles Times reported that in Silverado Canyon, a fire station filled with mud, 5 bodies were recovered there, and 17 people injured. February 16 to 26, 1969, local jurisdictions had just finished repairing roads and bridges damaged the month prior, when heavy rains descended again. 21 more people died from flooding and mudslides. Onlooker Arthur Cook recalled his experience later in The New Yorker. A wave 6 to 8 feet high came out of Rainbow Canyon. The rock, debris, everything was suspended in the liquid mass. Horrendous boulders, trees, car bodies were suspended in the mass. It sounded like a runaway express train. Just a roar. January 3 to 5, 1974, one person drowned in Temecula after heavy rains caused flooding and mudslides, and hundreds of residents were trapped in Topanga Canyon. February 13 to 21, 1986, different storms hit Southern California in just over a week, and 30 people were killed by both floods and mudslides. Post-fire flooding caused a basin in Harrison Canyon to overflow 4 times, and hundreds of homes were either destroyed or damaged. March 4, 1995, a mudslide in La Conquita destroyed 9 houses within a few seconds. Despite geologists' early warnings to La Conquita residents that the hillside would crumble under heavy rain, scores of homeowners refused to leave, the LA Times reported in 1995. According to a report by the United States Geological Survey, despite the destruction, no lives were lost. December 25, 2003, in October that year, wildfires had ravaged the San Bernardino Mountains. On Christmas Day, heavy rains led to mudslides, burying a church camp in Waterman Canyon. 23 people had been there for a holiday party, and 13 of them died. 2 other victims died in a DeVore campground. Rialto firefighter Dave Denman searches for victims after a mudslide December 26, 2003 in Waterman Canyon, California. The mudslide, which killed at least 4, and left 12 missing, was caused by heavy rains. Richard Hartogpool, Getty Images, January 2005. After days of record and near-record rainfall, La Conquita was hit once more. A hill gave way, killing 10 people. The Los Angeles Times reported that over 400,000 tons of mud inundated the community. 13 homes were destroyed, and another 23 were damaged, according to a report by the United States Geological Survey. Historical accounts and geologic evidence show that landsliding of a variety of types and scales has been occurring at and near La Conquita for many thousands of years, and on a relatively frequent basis, up until the present, the USGS wrote in the report. There is no reason to believe this pattern of landsliding will stop. A home damaged in the deadly mudslide that killed at least 10 people is one of those that residents will not be allowed to enter on the first day that evacuated residents are allowed to return to their devastated community. January 14, 2005, in La Conquita, California. With at least 3 people still missing, rescuers suspended search efforts after the hillside above shifted, raising concern that another mudslide could occur. 15 homes were destroyed and 16 damaged when the mudslide poured over part of the small seaside town of 260 people at the end of the area's heaviest rainfall in a 15-day period since records began in 1921. David McNew, Getty Images. Meanwhile, 5 straight days of heavy rains hit other parts of Southern California, causing other mountain slopes to slide and sewage to spill. A pregnant woman in Highland was killed, and a Crestline hotel was destroyed. The damages were estimated at $100 million, and a state of emergency was declared. Here are some of Southern California's devastating mudslides over the past 50 years. The 13th of January, 2018. Sarah Craig. Explore, Environment, Health, Housing, News, Montecito, mudslides.